All right. Good morning, fellow GAD associates. This morning, I'll be doing a quick video to show you some basic changes that have are present in the tutorials on getting started with cloud functions. Okay, so basically, let
And we're
me.
now quick
I'll
and
be skipping through the videos so
crazy
that
and complex from the event. We'll
let me minimize, let me mute that. Okay, so first off, you see how he created his own functions. Let's look through it. Let me flip through it quickly. Okay, I'll pause the video there. As you can see, his function is called PS Hello World, Hello Sub PubSub. It takes an event and a callback. That's not the case anymore. PubSub events should take a message and a context. Let me flip through the documentation. As you can see, this is a PubSub function used to listen for subscription events and the rest of that. If you put it that way, you can see it is now a message and a context. No more event and callback. There is no callback. The problem, one of the problems you will have is this callback. It won't work. Now, the other issue, as noted by one of our learners, was that you also notice he was getting adjacent errors as he tried to call the functions from his terminal. First of all, on Windows, you have two means of calling such functions. We have the command. We have the command. Okay, I have not brought mine up. Let me do that. Sorry, not that. Let me do this. CMD. Okay, you have this. Okay, this the regular terminal we've been used to. Then we have, of course, we have PowerShell. Okay. Okay. All right. Search for PowerShell. Click on that. Open that. So we have this. Sorry about that. We have this. That's the beauty about Windows. A lot of stuff just happened, but nonetheless, Linux still rocks. Anyway, so we have this and we have this. For you to be able to run those commands in any of these environments, you need to make a bit of change to your command format to get it to work. Now, if you look carefully, this is a Mac OS. Indicated by this icon here, and of course if you've seen one before you will really know. So this runs mostly like a Linux system, so if you try to run the terminal commands you see here on a Windows system, of course you get errors. So there are two errors we're going to resolve. First, we're going to show you how to format your command in the terminal to get it to work properly. Then secondly, we're going to show you how you restructure your PS Hello PubSub function so that it actually runs the way you expect it to. So I've already gone through and done it and fixed a lot of stuff. So I'll be flipping through. And of course, if you have any questions, you can leave comments in my YouTube, comments in the YouTube so that I'll get back to you. Okay, first of all, we need to create a topic, so I will run all this stuff, of course, in the terminal, and so that you get to appreciate what I'm doing. So first of all, this is my VS Code on Windows. This is a Windows 10 system. The default terminal for VS Code is the PowerShell. You can tell it's a PowerShell because you see PS here. Okay, so let me clear my screen. Okay, so you see the default PS, that's PowerShell. Okay, you can also do this in your terminal, the other terminal we talked about, that is this one, Windows. It will still work, it will still work. So, but I default to PowerShell because PowerShell is a bit closer to how Linux works. So some of the commands on Linux will, if you run it in PowerShell, you get the same result. Okay, so first of all, let's create a topic. Gcloud. Cloud function. Okay, so not functions. PubSub topics. Create hello world. Okay, so let's create that topic first of all. All right, so that's been created. Okay, let's quickly switch to and go to my, okay, so let me go to PubSub topic under big data. If I scroll down, have I reached the bottom already? Oh, I get confused on how the scroll button on the mouse works on Windows. It works the opposite to how it works on my Linux. Okay, so all right, so we have this Hollow World topic. I created this earlier. I don't know how that came in, but it's there. I need to even delete it. It's been there a long time, I guess. Okay, so that's the topic. Then the next thing he did, let me put on the video. Okay, so now another thing I want you to take note. Look at the callback, the PS hello PubSub function. You see the way it is? This is wrong. This is the way it actually should be. Like I showed you before, things have changed on GCP on how these functions work. You see here, what we expect is a message. The two arguments passed to it to the function is message and of course context. So it takes two parameters, a message and a context. These are the things that get passed to it. All right, so but in the video, he's actually doing event and callback, and it's supposed to be a function, a callback function that gets called. But this is not how you should write it. Let me show you how it should be written. Okay, let's scroll up. Okay, so this is how it should be written. This is how it should be written. Okay, let me make it a bigger view. Appearance, let's use Zend. Okay, so Zend doesn't magnify the way it would on my own system. Okay, so that's the Zend mode. I hope I can get out of this mode. Oh, I'm in trouble. All right, so that's it. It's message context. You get rid of the callback function. You don't need that, and you just have this present. Okay, all right, so let's go back here. Let's see what else he does. After that, he will subscribe to that. Okay, so let's skip all this. This is not what we're really interested in. I'll go to deploying HTTP trigger. I'll ignore that one and go to the video on subscribing to PubSub triggers. Okay, so first of all, he has to set up a function to respond to a PubSub trigger. Okay, so let me go back to, if I know how to get out of this mode. If I know how to get out of this mode, I'll be glad. Okay, so I'm stuck. I'm really stuck here. I'm in trouble. No. All right, so I don't know how to handle this, so the best way I would know how to handle this would be to close it and then relaunch it again. Okay, sorry about that. Take a few minutes to do that. Okay, so while that is going on, let's see how he sets up his PubSub function to respond to his PubSub trigger. Okay, so the trigger is there. Oh, sorry, the PubSub topic. So the topic has been created. That's what we did, and I showed you the topic here. That's our topic that's been created. We are going to link to that topic. So whenever messages are pushed to that topic, it will respond. Okay, so functions deploy PubSub. Of course, you need to tell it the topic you want it to monitor, and then of course the runtime, and here he added a staging bucket. If you don't add a staging bucket, it doesn't matter. Okay, I've already created a bucket with my project name, so that bucket is already there. So this is what he's doing. Okay, so let's go to our own. Let me launch this. Let me close this. I hope you have to give me a few minutes because VS Code takes a bit to get up and running. Okay, meanwhile, okay, thank God it's up. Okay, all right, so it's up. think. All right, I have mine Vim extension set up. So that is why my cursor is blinking in that manner. So I have to press I to get it to work. So first of all, we change the PubSub code to this. We get rid of the callback function. We don't need that. If you want to access any data passed to that function, it will be in the message or in the context. Context gives us some other values and properties. Now, if you see how the message is used here, this is how you will run it, and it will return back to you the message. Of course, it has to be encoded in base 64. Windows is making it a bit difficult for me to do that. On Linux, it will be much very simple. Okay, but I'll go, when I get to know how to do that, I'll get that. So we're trying to achieve two things. We're trying to see how to format our commands in the terminal PowerShell in this case, and then how to correct the error that would come up when we are running the function as described in the tutorial. Okay, so first of all, we want to subscribe to that PubSub topic. So first of all, we have gcloud, functions, deploy. The name of the function there is ps hello PubSub. We're using the name of the function, so we don't need to map it in any way like he did in the tutorial. PubSub, and what again are we supposed to pass in there? Okay, so we do stage buckets like he did. Our bucket was called this. Okay, and then trigger topic is hello world. Okay, and the runtime is Node.js 10. Okay, let's see if our command was correct. If it was, it should run. If there's any errors, we will fix it. Okay. All right, so allow the function to be run by unauthenticated users. So no one authentication will be required if you want to run this cloud function. But of course, in a production environment, you will of course set up authentication so that anyone who wants to run it has to actually be an authenticated user. Okay, so we'll give it a few minutes, and while we're at that, let's go back to a browser and go back to then check up on the cloud functions. Cloud function should be under compute. Have that. Okay, so it's coming up. All right, and of course it's subscribed to the topic hello world. All right, so in a few minutes that will be done. Then while we were getting that to be putting that into position, let me flip through, of course, flip through. Okay, so this is where he actually calls the hello PubSub function, and he gets a response. Okay, he gets an error in his case because it says moment is not defined. It has to do with his code. He fixed it. In my case, I don't get that kind of error because I actually didn't move my moments to another file. I left my moments, I imported it here and used it directly in the calling function, which is here. He did that in another file and imported it, so I guess he made a mistake there about. So this is important. Okay, so now we have, it's been deployed. Okay, so you see the name of the entry point is this. The name is this. Okay, and timeout is 60 seconds and the version is 1. So we have that ready. Okay, so let's quickly run the command. Let me clear my screen so that we can have some real estate. All right, so now let's do as he did. Now, if you notice in his own function call, he used the beta version of functions. I think the beta version, I think functions is now at the point of general release, so you don't need to put that beta. Okay, you don't need to put it to have it to work. Okay, so PS hello PubSub, okay, and passing data. Now this is where it becomes interesting. In Linux, in macOS, you run as seen in the tutorial, in the video, but on a Windows system, there's slight difference to how you will have to do this. So first of all, you put quotation mark single one, put the curly braces, then you escape that quotation marks double quotation mark. I think that's what it's called. Forgive me if I'm calling it the way it should be. And then, all right, so as you can see, oh, sorry about that, this and this. As you can see, in his case, he didn't escape any of the quotation marks, but we need to escape it to get it to work on Windows. Without that Windows PowerShell, if you're running from the Windows command, I think command terminal, the escape is slightly different from this. I'll leave that as an assignment to you to find out how that can be done and run perfectly from the command. Please take your time to find out how it's done in case you're a Windows user, so most likely that's the environment in which you'll find yourself. So let's hit enter and see if we're correct. Of course, there we are. We are correct. So we have an output of the execution ID. Okay, that's the execution ID to tell us that actually we returned what was expected. Okay, so basically speaking, that is how to go about avoiding two errors. First of all, you need to enlarge this. First of all, you need to change your function from that which is seen in the video to this. Okay, there is no callback function anymore, and as I showed you in the documentation, the video you saw is a bit old, and there's a callback function. We're talking context here, no more callbacks. Okay, so and then the other part is actually formatting your output in this fashion. See, you have to escape the quotation marks there for both the name and the value. Here he didn't pass in any value, but if you were to, you will still need to escape it this way, and of course you get a response which shows you get an ID as the response to the function that we called. We could also call that, let's hit that again and see what happens. Okay, take about a sec, and there you go. So this shows it was successful. Let's go to our GCP console. Let's click on the function itself, and let's see what happens. We should get some graph, but actually there's no graph, nothing happened. Let's see, it's 6 hours, nothing happened. So no errors, and of course if there were errors, you would see them here. Okay, callback. Of course, that was an error we got earlier. So this is another place where if you have any errors, you will see the errors and you will know why they have issues. And of course, if you click on it, it will take you to the spot in your code, and I think shows you where the error actually originated from. But I've changed that, so it shouldn't show that anymore. Okay, so normally if I've changed that, but of course it shows you where the error is, and you can actually pick the errors and then find out what is. So that's basically how you get to run or follow that tutorial without having issues. If any other comments you have, just drop it in the comments area in the YouTube video just underneath, and I'll respond. And of course, remember to leave likes